Hey everybody, I'm Captain Zeus and welcome back to BP Fun. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a review on episode 5 of the Star Wars Acolyte series. Now, for those of you that haven't seen it, spoiler warning, I will be going into some things that happened in the episode, so if you don't want to be spoiled, turn back now. But if you're still here, don't forget to like and subscribe for more nerdy content just like this, and click the bell to be notified when I post another review for each episode of this series. Future Zeus here, and I just realized I kept calling Yord Kodar throughout this whole video. I apologize in advance, so whenever you hear me say Kodar, I'm talking about Yord. I have no idea why I called him Kodar. I was getting the names really mixed up here. Granted, I just recorded the video right after watching the episode, so adrenaline's a little pumping there, but forgive me for saying Kodar instead of Yord, guys. My bad. Now, I will say this, right off the bat, I will say this is probably the best episode of the series. And I'm not saying this really because of the story per se. The action and choreography for this was absolutely fantastic. And I was right, guys. Qimir, the Asian guy, is indeed the Sith. Dude, the guy was freaking dope. Honestly, not only was his combat against the Jedi's freaking super cool, but when he revealed himself, the monologues he gave, the reasonings he gave, it was, I don't know, I was so into it. I was like, this is dope. This is exactly what I would imagine a Sith to be. One that's not a freaking crybaby or one that's being corrupted by someone else, someone that's already been established. So cool. Honestly, Qimir, probably my Qimir, whatever. He's my favorite character of the whole show, besides Soul, because, you know, everyone loves Soul. But man, this whole episode was just him. It was just him showing off, and I loved every second of it. And Soul, also, another MVP, doing a fantastic job with not only, again, the choreography and the combat, but just staying true to being who he is as a Jedi. And that's kind of where the positives end here. It gets really cheesy. Like, this beginning half of the episode, it's so cool, right? We're learning more about the Sith. Qimir's doing a fantastic job, not only with just keeping you enticed in his story, but just captivating you as him being a bad guy. And then the combat between him and just slaughtering the Jedi, also freaking cool. There were several times when he killed like Kadar, whatever. When he snapped his neck, dude, I literally went, oh snap. In real life, it was crazy. And the surprise factor was definitely there. But the things that made this episode not so good was the fact that, I don't know what it is with the twins. What was happening with them was just so cheesy. All you saw was May. She was fighting Jackie, which, by the way, Jackie, another goat. She's definitely Soul's apprentice, because not only did she do a really good job up against Mai, but she went toe-to-toe against the Sith and even was dual wielding, and that was just so freaking cool. Unfortunately, she does die, and that, again, was another shock value for me, but I was like, oh snap. Jackie and Kodar's deaths shocked the crap out of me. Did not think they were gonna kill them off in this episode, which is good. Like, it's a good thing to keep people on their toes about. But when we go to Osha, I felt like that whole segment with Osha running away, Kodar just staying with her, and they go to the forest part with the bugs, and I get why they brought this part up with the bugs, right? The bugs were going to be instrumental to allowing them to escape from the Sith later on, which again, that's stupid. But I hate, and this is not towards specifically this show, but it's happened in so many shows and movies where one character is like, shut up, do this, shut up, do that, stop, what are you doing? And it's such a commanding, authoritative way that's annoying and aggravating. And the character's like, why am I gonna listen to you? What are you talking about? And they don't explain anything until like minutes later in like the most subtle way possible, instead of just straight up saying, hey, there's bugs above us that are attracted to your light, turn your lightsaber off. Like, it's just something that's so stupid that happens in so many movies and shows that it just irks me. It irks the crap out of me. But obviously the bug scene was relevant because that ties into the fact that for some plot armor retarded reason, Osha is able to sneak up behind Qimir, put the light on his back, and escape unscathed. Like, Qimir knew she was behind him, and he just let her stay there? That doesn't seem reasonable. And not only that, but he let her, because let's be honest, this guy was fighting Sith, like Jedi, just a few minutes ago, so he could fight with people behind him and in front of him. And he just let her attach that to him, made no sense whatsoever. At the end, when Mai and Osha are like coming together, Mai's freaking monologue was so cringe. Over here talking about, you've been brainwashed, you don't remember. And I'm like, bro, what are you freaking on about, dude? We watched a whole episode about the backstory. We saw what happened with Osha. There was no brainwashing there. But I can just tell it's gonna be my pushing the whole Jedi are bad, these Jedi are bad. And that ties into another thing where like Soul gave into the dark side very quickly against, understandable, right? His Padawan just died in front of him. He gave into the dark side, or gave into his anger, I should say, I'm sorry. And he was being aggressive towards Qimir. It seemed a little too easy. With the way Soul is, or has been up until this point, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. Like, I see why he got upset. It does make sense, but it also doesn't. I don't know, I'm just kind of torn with him going a little berserker for a second, but he gets to his senses pretty quick, so it's not like I can be really too mad about it. It's just kind of a personal pet peeve of mine, but I will definitely rate this episode a 6 out of 10, purely for the fact of the combat and Qimir's Sith identity being revealed. The one thing too I will say is the fact that his helmet and arm guard, what the frick is that? To my knowledge, Beskar is the only thing that can block lightsabers successfully. It's the only metal that can do that. So what kind of helmet does he have? And why does his arm bracelet and helmet disrupt the lightsaber core? What the frick is that all about? Don't get me wrong, cool, made for an interesting like fight sequence kind of build, but it also didn't really make any sense because to my knowledge, there's nothing out there that can do that. So I'm very curious as to WTF is going on here, but I'm glad that they didn't kill Qimir off because it looked like they were going to. Like when he got dragged away by the bugs, I was like, bro, if they kill him right here, I'm literally not gonna watch this show anymore. I mean, I shouldn't be watching this since episode 3, but like that would have been the dumbest way to kill off one of the best, if not the best character in the entire series. But they didn't. He's alive, and Mai and Osha switched places, cliche way. Soul can't recognize that Osha, or that Mai is Osha, which, can we go to that real quick? Mai cut her hair with a lightsaber, which somehow perfectly matches the exact same style that Osha had, and puts on her clothes, and then all of a sudden Soul can't tell the difference. Kind of weird. One, I mean, you should be able to smell burning hair, if I'm not understanding correctly. And their mannerisms are clearly freaking different. I could tell the difference between the two. Mai's not exactly acting. She's doing her worst job at acting at being Osha. And I'll give it to Soul. He's probably just high on adrenaline and shock after everything that went down. But it just seemed like the stupidest thing ever. And I don't know what the story is with Basil. Like, what is he's smelling Osha's droid, and that led him to Mai, I think? I don't know what's happening, dude. I was all on board with this episode, and then it just kind of went, what is happening? So I'm just more confused than anything. But we'll have to see how the rest of the series goes. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on episode 5 of the Acolyte series. And again, go check out the other review videos that we've done, as well as the other videos that we do on this channel, top 10s, comic book comparisons, news, etc. I'm Captain Zeus, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.